We've made it to video number 2. I guess I'm now legally entitled to hit you guys with the YouTuber intro. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I didn't like saying that just now. It felt gross. I promise to never do it again. What did I want to talk about today? Yeah, so last night I went out and did the same thing that I have been doing for the past few weeks, which is going out downtown to just sort of force some magic upon the general public and work on some magic that I've had lying around my room for years in some cases that I've never really taken the time to work in. It was a big reminder that tricks shouldn't be judged based on how well their first couple of performances go over. I know that this is a point that Fred and Lloyd have touched on before, so I promise that this isn't going to just be a channel full of talking about things that Fred and Lloyd have said. But last night was a very big reminder of that point. Don't judge a trick based on its first imperfect performance. And that's why I think I'm going to call this video that bad performances are part of the process. Because while I don't think that anything that I did last night was straight up bad, I was working on a couple of tricks that I don't think landed as well as they could have, purely just because of the fact that I haven't figured out how to make them work to their full potential yet, presentation-wise. One of those tricks is Flight by Steve Thompson, which, if you're not familiar, is a ring flight that Illusionist put out quite a few years ago. And the nice thing about it is there's no pull or anything. It's a very self-contained gimmick. Ring vanishes, appears on your key ring. Very nice. And I performed it, I think, 3 times last night, and I got a couple of decent reactions, but not the reactions that I would expect such a strong effect to get. And I really had to sort of take a moment with myself to be like, okay, I can't write this trick off just because these couple of performances didn't go over super well. The reactions weren't terrible, but not as big as they could have been, especially with, you know, some of the stuff I'm out doing to these drunk people, some of the reactions that I'm getting. It did get me comfortable with the physical moves of doing that routine, and that sort of broke down just like a bit of a barrier for me, to the point where I'm going to be more comfortable practicing this trick now, to get it to the point where it does get those reactions that I want, because I do feel like it's a very strong trick, and I think without looking at it this way, I think it could be easy to write it off just because of the slightly smaller than usual reactions. Another trick that I tried today for the first time was Inverto by, I can't remember who it's by. Wow, I'm a bad person. But Inverto, where you write someone's name on a selected card, you hold it up to the camera, and you can invert the camera back and forth, but by leaving it on the inverted setting, you turn the card around and the whole card, including their name written on it, is now mirrored backwards. It's a really cool trick. But when I performed it today for a friend having coffee, and you know, it's a friend who doesn't see a ton of magic. He doesn't see a ton of magic, so it's not like one of those close friends who's going to like really nitpick everything you do. When I do show him magic, he usually does react pretty strongly. But this one, when we got to that moment where we turned the card around and the card was mirrored, he didn't really react much. Not as much as he normally would for some of the stronger magic that I'd do for him. And that kind of was like almost like I thought this was gonna hit really well. But then it was yet another moment of being like, this is the first time I've done this. I just kind of stumbled my way through the performance, figuring out how I was going to do it as I went along. And it was another moment where I think it's really important to remind myself that that performance is not indicative of how good that trick is. But again, it got me past that threshold of actually performing it once, to the point where I'm going to be so much more comfortable next time I perform it, that it'll be easier to sort of start to iron out those wrinkles during the performance. One of the tricks that I did start trying out last night that did get some quite good reactions was Exact Change by Gregory Wilson. I was kind of unsure how that would play in the environment that I was performing in last night because, you know, I go out to this square outside the club. Everybody is very loosened up, I guess you can say. And I was unsure how a mostly verbal piece of mentalism would play. So I guess I chose wisely who I did it to. You know, if someone seemed like they wouldn't be able to latch on to the words I was saying, I just didn't bother with it. But I did a couple performances of Exact Change, and they went over quite well. And I'll throw in some clips of those too, so you can see how those went.
This is just something that you have to imagine. Imagine that you're in a store and everything costs under $1, okay? Crazy thing to imagine in this economy. But so everything costs anywhere from 1 cent to 99 cents. Yes. Imagine you pick something out, you take it to the front, they scan it for you, they tell you your total. Your total is somewhere between 1 cent and 99 cents. Tell me what that number is down to the penny.
73 cents.
73 cents.
Yes.
So you buy something, it costs exactly 73 cents.
Exactly 73 cents.
Here's what's kind of weird. Have you ever gone into a store to buy something and you have the exact amount of change in your pocket that you need to buy it? It's really rare, right?
Really rare, yeah.
But here's what's kind of interesting is I keep cash and I keep my wallet here, but I keep my change here.
Yeah.
I don't want you to, there's nothing in my hand, right?
I swear to God.
Hold your hand out.
Oh.
That's 50.
Oh my God.
So 25, 50, 60,
Oh my God.
70,
Oh my God.
and I even keep 1, 2, 3 pennies on me.
Holy No! 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 What the fuck? No! What the?
Yeah, just a really, really fun trick, and doing it last night, again, got me more comfortable with that gimmick. I'll definitely be performing that more. So I guess all of this is to say that the best way to start doing a new trick that you haven't had the guts to start performing yet is just to do it and let it maybe fall flat. Maybe let it fall flat a couple times. Just do it, and it'll get so much easier after that first time. It might feel kind of uncomfortable doing it for that first time. Like when I did Inverto today, I didn't really know what I was doing. I knew the basic presentation with the camera, but I hadn't really practiced it at all. But it did get me past that barrier into performing that trick, so that I think now it's going to be so much easier every time I do it and improve that performance to the point where I can get some really good reactions from it. And I think that's a big perk of practicing on strangers the way I have been doing is, you know, you might have a couple close friends that you can show your magic to and test your new tricks out on, and they'll give you a lot of really good feedback because they're your friends who have seen a lot of magic. They'll know how to nitpick all these little things. But going out and performing on strangers, you can get a fresh pair of eyes on it each time. And I think that's really important. I think you learn a lot about what a presentation needs by having a bunch of different people who you don't know seeing you perform that trick. Because what falls totally flat with one person might make someone else totally explode. I did get one really good clip last night of something that is, I guess, kind of a 1,000-timer for me that I turned into an Instagram reel that I'll show you on here. And by the way, I will fully plug my Instagram here. It's Kobe Wilson Magic, same as this channel name. Follow it up. I'm posting lots of reels that I take with the meta glasses here. Can you hear that? That's a bird. What a horrible sound. But this is a clip of my favorite phase of the ambitious card that I do. And this guy's reaction is so good. Check this out.
Guys! Guys! What the?
I want to. 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 I Here, can you take half the deck off the top for me? Take half the cards off. So I'll just work with half the deck to simplify it a little bit, right? So if the jack goes here, it goes into the middle, and then what happens? It comes to the top, right?
No, it doesn't. It don't. But
It's in the middle.
This isn't the top of the deck, guys. Kai's holding the top of the deck.
No, it's not. Guys! Guys! What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, you're holding it.
Guys!
How do you put it there?
Just the way he goes, guys. I just absolutely love reactions like that, and I've really been loving recording Magic on these glasses. It's just such a good way to capture people's reactions. So thank you so much for sticking with me through another one of these. I still have no idea what I'm doing. I feel like I'm totally just rambling nonsense, but Fred told me that the last video was coherent, so let's just hope that this one ends up being coherent as well. I plan on doing more of these. I plan on getting better at this, talking to you guys through this camera. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but if you could leave a comment, that would mean a whole lot. If there's something that you want to hear me talk about, please let me know. I'll take all the ideas that I can get. If you're new, please subscribe. I look forward to talking about more Magic with all y'all very soon. Peace.